Well, Treefort is right around the corner, and there are a ton of artists that come from all around the world to play in Boise, but there's plenty of local musicians, too, you will want to check out, including Kid Catapult, who is joining us here today. Kid Catapult, first of all, love the name. Can I get the history of the name, how it started?
Gosh, you know, I don't
Unless
know.
it's a secret,
it's
man.
It's not a secret.
Okay, all right, all right.
I just, I didn't want to go by my name. I feel like I always kind of glazed over artists that go by their name, and so I was like, what's cool, what's fun, what's catchy? I landed on Kid Catapult.
So here we go. We're getting ready for Treefort. Is this your first time playing Treefort?
It is my first time, yeah.
Now, did you grow up going to Treefort? Is this something that you've always had kind of on your dream board, and now all of a sudden it's really happening? Or?
So I've been in Boise now for, I guess, 8 or 9 years.
Okay, yeah.
But I grew up on the East Coast. I grew up in Rhode Island playing shows. Providence, Boston, you know, the whole New England scene.
Yeah,
and
just
so,
like Boise, right? yeah, it's a little bit different.
A little different over there.
Yeah.
But since being in Boise, yeah, it's definitely something I've aspired to get involved with and play. And I mean, you see some of your favorite bands come through town. It's like, I want to be a part of that.
Yeah.
So,
you know, one thing we talked to Gene Huff, Boise Weekly yesterday, and what's so interesting is you watch Treefort, you see these artists, and then sometimes 2-3 years down the road, you're like, oh, that person played at Treefort. We always bring up a Lizzo story. There's a, you know, Lizzo came to Treefort years ago,
yeah.
And now obviously a huge thing. I mean, you know, thinking of that potential of just being able to play, is it always just about playing music in front of anybody? Is it about one day you want to make it big? What's kind of your goal?
I think definitely when everybody starts, you know, playing music, they have dreams of making it big.
Yeah, sure.
I'm going to be the next Lizzo.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
But,
Kid Catapult, the next Lizzo. You're your verse. Yeah.
But no, it's awesome to be able to reach a new fan base. You know, people come from all over for Treefort for one artist or another, and you know, if they end up going to your show, that's awesome to be able to reach that. And so, I love, you know, being able to play for anybody, but you know, anybody who hasn't been to a Kid Catapult show, I'm really excited to play for them, especially.
Yeah. I don't want to. You're going to perform in just a moment, so we're going to get ready for that. But how would you describe your music, your sound?
Yeah.
And maybe that's a complex question.
No,
yeah.
I would call it. A lot of folks would call it like folk punk. It's kind of like sad boy folk emo, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah,
bringing emo back,
that's
baby.
Right.
If you know what, if I would have known, I would have dressed up in my emo phase. Like I used to have it all. But it feels like that music's kind of making a comeback. I mean, you're seeing, especially some punk kind of bands come back.
Yeah. I don't think it ever left really. I think it's just now more in the kind of the public eye with all the bands touring again. You know, you have bands like The Used and everything coming back, and My Chemical Romance and all that. And so I think, yeah, it's definitely.
For, you know, someone I'm 32, whenever I hear some of that, it's like, boom, high school again. You love that feeling. Love that feeling. So what are you going to be playing for us coming up?
I'm going to play a song off my first album or second album called Anchored.
Anchored, okay. So we're so excited. Kid Catapult, the performance of a lifetime is coming up next on Idaho Today.